is up, guys? Mega Matt here with another pickups video for the month of July. Got a lot of stuff this month, so let's just jump into it. Uh, First things first, looking at thrift stores, Goodwills. Didn't really found anything at Goodwill lately, but I went to a local Salvation Army, and I typically do not find anything at Salvation Army, or if I do find something there, it's usually priced accordingly. Um, but these were just sitting on like a bottom shelf. But for $1.99, I got a pink DS Lite. It feels like the hinges are okay, so I think what I'm gonna end up doing is I did end up trying to charge this and it didn't really charge. But I do have a Zelda DS Lite that I got a couple months ago that had a bad hinge, so I might just take one of the good hinges out of here and put it in there. But then next to it, apparently they thought this was the charger, but this is actually a Game Boy SP charger, and I paid $1.99 for that as well. So not bad for Salvation Army. Like I said, I usually don't find anything there. Next up, which is kind of odd, I was watching another YouTuber and he picked up some stuff on the Shop Goodwill site, which is like an online site, kind of like eBay, where you can Goodwill holds stuff back, like they hold games and all kinds of stuff, and you can bid on it. And if you're the highest bidder, you win. Well, I just took a stab at this out of the blue, but it was low at the time and it had like a day and a half left, and I ended up winning, which is weird. I was the highest bidder, but with shipping and fee and taxes and that, it ended up being around what this goes for, which is kind of unfortunate. But it only showed two pictures, so it's kind of vague on what you're getting to. But this is the Metroid Prime Target version. It's supposed to have coupons inside. However, there were no coupons inside, but it is a complete copy nonetheless. So I never understood why they made so many versions of Metroid Prime. There's a Kmart version as well. There's it's kind of crazy. Why did Nintendo do that? I don't know. If anybody knows, let me know. This next pickup was thanks to my buddy TJ. He actually had this game. He brought it to trade at MoGame Con, which we'll talk about MoGame Con in a little bit. But they did a reprinting of this, but it's from a different company. And this game, I think the first print run is around 300, 350, but I guess I looked this up recently and it's still going for around $200, which is crazy. And I think it was $60. But it's a brand new copy of Siberia Collection, and it says at the bottom there the THQ Nordic. That's the other company. Apparently, the original version is a different company down there. I don't really remember what company it is. But that's crazy. I assume this is gonna drop as soon as more people find out there's another printing of it, unless this printing sold out, which I looked the other day and it still wasn't sold out, which probably because people don't know about it. But anyway, moving on, I went to GameStop, and it's kind of an interesting story. I was just in there looking, killing time, and a lady comes in and she has a shoebox and she has a bunch of regular DS games in there. However, they were just cases. They were cases, but they had original art and they had manuals. And she was just wondering if the employee would just take them. She was just donating them. And otherwise, she said she was going to throw them away, which kind of like made me cringe. So I didn't want to be rude about it. I was kind of looking to see what she had and everything. And the employee was really cool. He said, if there's any you want, go ahead and take them. He said, we'll just keep the rest. And I explained to him that I was probably going to take the best cases, and he didn't have a problem with it. So, um, and then I ended up talking to the lady afterwards, and I tried to pay her for these cases. I was going to give her like $1 or $2 a case, but she wouldn't take any money. She said she was just going to end up throwing them away. But just case and manual, Super Mario Bros. Or New Super Mario Bros. Like I said, they all have manuals in it. And then Super Princess Peach, again, just has manual. And Kirby Mass Attack, which is kind of uncommon to find the game, but that also had the manual. So for free, why not, right? I figure I'll probably, if I find those games loose, then I can just put them in those cases, and I got complete copies of them. So, and then next I was at another GameStop with TJ, and we were just, again, I think we went to my local game store, Disc Replay, looking around and stuff. We happened to go in GameStop, and they had a new twin pack amiibo set come out, and apparently it's sold out everywhere. However, the GameStop by then found a couple bundles in their back, and like in the back they didn't know they had, so they ended up putting them out. And the only unfortunate part is the top part has a huge bend in it. But my TJ, he bought one. He's gonna like probably open them and use them. I just bought it to have it and see if anybody needs it. But these are, I don't even know, Pyra and Mithra. I believe these are from, oh my goodness, are these from the, I don't know, guys. It says Smash Bros, but I'm trying to think of the actual game they came from. This is a double pack. However, there's a giant bend. I don't know if you guys can see that at the top. I guess from when they got them in. But yeah, I still have these. I'm not collecting amiibos anymore, so definitely gonna just get rid of them if I can. Okay, so then let's go to a Facebook deal. This is probably one of the best deals here. But guy on Facebook Marketplace, he had just a random video game lot. It was a Super Nintendo system, which I'm not going to show because it's big and bulky. He had not a Super Nintendo controller, a NES controller, and a was it PlayStation 1 controller and a Nintendo Zapper. Then he only had 4 games, but the games is what made this deal good. I paid $90 for this lot. But for Super Nintendo, we got Monopoly. I don't know why this is not focusing. The camera is not focusing. Sorry about that, guys. Infiltrator, which I've never really heard of this game. I don't collect for NES. We got a copy of Loops. And then, of course, the last game, which was the best game in the lot, which I already had a copy of this. And I actually traded a copy of this to Drinking Games with Josh. If you're not subscribed to him, go subscribe to him. He's a cool guy. We did I sent him this because he needed it for his collection, but Casino Kid 2. Not a common game to come across. And again, it's not focusing. Oh, sorry guys. I don't know why my camera is not acting up weird, but this game alone is over $100, which is stupid, insane. For a casino game, for $100 casino game, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand the whatever. Anyway, next, this was at a random garage sale. The guy had just some games randomly. No, not games, movies. And this was thrown in. He was moving, so he had no use for him. But for $2, paid only $2 for this. We got a red crimson DS Lite. It's in really nice shape. It had like one of those Nerf cases on it, so I took that off, and this is in like really beautiful shape. Came with the charger, the correct charger, and it had a copy of Nintendogs in it. So $2. I mean, yeah, that's a no-brainer, right? All right, moving on to the garage sales. This was a random garage sale. I saw this guy had a bunch of video game theme stuff. He did not have any games, or he said that his son is holding on to the games, but he had a bunch of like just stuff I didn't normally see. Like this is a like Mario canvas picture, and it's actually Nintendo branded, and it's from like 2018. I thought that was neat. I've never seen anything like this at the stores or anything. So I think this was like $3, and then this I this was kind of like an impulse buy, but we got Zelda Twilight Princess. This is kind of like a, I don't know if it's wood or, I think it is, or it's not plastic. It's kind of like wood with a finish. Has a hook on there, and again, it's got a Nintendo thing on there. So I think this was $5. So for like $8, I mean, might as well, right? There's some stuff to hang up in the game room or around the house. So couldn't pass up on that. All right. Um, this was not a garage sale. This is probably the best pickup of the video, one of the best pickups of the video. So, lady, Facebook Marketplace, she had some PS3 games listed, and she wanted $50 for them all, and some good games in there. And of course, every time I uh, message somebody that has games, I always ask them, "Do you have any more games?" You know, and then I go through the lists, like everything. And she said she had PS2 games, and she sent me a picture, and the PS2 games are better than the PS3 games. Uh, she said, "What would you give me?" I said, "How about another $50?" And she took it. So for $100, we got, there's a lot of games here, so bear with me. We got a loose copy of Gundam versus Zeta. What does this say? Oh my goodness. Bun Zeta Gundam. Jeez, I can't read that. So Gundam versus Zeta Gundam. It's just a loose disc on PS2. Oh, that was actually a PS2 game. But then a Japanese import Gundam game. Another, oh my goodness, Centuries Episode R. Just a Gundam, like, I think battle game. I don't know. I think we ended up. I was with TJ, and we ended up putting this in. There's like 5 games in one, or 6 games in one, but it's hard to play because you have to know Japanese to know what's going on. So, got Devil May Cry. I'm just gonna try to go through these. White Knight Chronicles 2. Tekken Hybrid. You don't really see that because it says Tekken Tag and Tekken Tag 2 on it. Got Ninja Gaiden 3. I don't know where to put these. Persona 4 Arena. Lord of the Rings Conquest. They're all complete too, at least most of them. I think only 1 or 2 didn't have manuals. Dante's Inferno. We got Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Tenkaichi. We've got Mercenaries World in Flames. Mass Effect 2, Castlevania, Lord of Shadow, just the original. Resident Evil, Operation Raccoon City. I haven't played this before. I might keep this and play it. Don't know if it's any good or not. The Steel Book of Resident Evil 5. That's pretty cool. I might keep this. I am a Resident Evil fan. Resident Evil 6. We got Ninja Gaiden Z Sigma or E Sigma. I don't know. Ninja Gaiden E2. Oh, sorry for the glare there. Darksiders 1 and Darksiders 2. And then I think this was the best PS3 game. We got Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3. So those were $50. And then, like I said, the PlayStation 2 games are where it's at. So we got Madden 08. Yeah, I know, nothing crazy, right? Madden 07. God of War 2. Resident Evil 4, just the original PS2. We got the 3-pack of Metal Gear Solid, the Essentials Collection. I've had this before. I found this at a Salvation Army before, and now I got another copy of it. The 3-pack 5th Anniversary Collection of Devil May Cry has all 3 games in there, so that's awesome. Dragon Ball Z, Budokai 3, Metal Gear Solid 3 Substance. This game is expensive too. I don't know why. It's like, I think $50. And then the best game of the lot, which if you guys know about this, you know it's over $100. Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. So yeah, and that one is complete. So yeah, for all those games for $100, cannot complain about that. So that was a heck of a score. And she says those games were in storage and she might have more. She said she would let me know, but I haven't heard anything since. So okay, another garage sale, and then let me do this real quick. This was just a quick Facebook deal. 3 3DS games. She wanted $10 a piece. No brainer. We got 2 copies, loose copies of Pokemon Sun, and a copy of New Super Mario Bros. 2. And again, my camera does not want to focus. I do have an empty case for this, so now I could complete this game. Alright, this garage sale was kind of an odd one. Young girl, she was going to college and she wanted to get rid of her stuff. She had some DS games. She had like an Xbox, PlayStation. I passed on that stuff because there were really no games for her. She had a DS bundle and it had a ton of games, but a lot of the games were like little girl games, kid games, quote, shovelware, so to speak. I mean, the majority of them, I actually just took those to my local game store and they ended up taking them all, which I was kind of surprised. The DS has a ton of stuff, $2. They were like, I don't know, $2, $3 games and everything. But I did keep this stack and she would not sell me just these games that I picked out. She said it's just a bundle deal. You have to take it all. So I just bit the bullet and took it all. But one nice thing we got is a DSi, blue DSi, and it's in the box. I'm not going to take it out or anything, but nice to see this like in the box. And then like I said, ton of shovelware games. This game is for a friend that needs it, Nintendogs, Dalmatian, and Friends. I think this is kind of uncommon to find for the Nintendogs series. This game, which I was surprised, goes, I think, for 20, 25. But we got Bella, Lara, or is that Sarah? Laura, I don't know. That definitely little girl horse game. I will never play that. This I kept because I kind of wanted to just try it to see if it's any good, but it's probably not. But Goosebumps Horrorland. And then the three best games. This one unfortunately has no manual, but we have Professor Layton and the Diabolical Box, Animal Crossing Wild World, and best game in the whole lot was Rune Factory 2, Fantasy Harvest Moon. So I do have another copy of this, so now I got two copies of it. And then she had this, which I don't know if you guys remember. Nintendo came out with this. Oh, and then I forgot there's another loose game in here, Mario Kart. But this is that case with all the colored styluses in there. And then you could, it's like a travel case. It was kind of neat to see that because I haven't seen this in years. But then this was interesting to me. She threw, this was thrown in also. I've never seen this before. These were, I guess, to promote Animal Crossing on the DS. They're by the company Tommy. They are Nintendo branded, but they're like these very like little tiny figures that come with little accessories. Really weird. I've never seen anything like this. And then there's a bunch of them on the back too. I guess you can collect. But this is actually open. It's not sealed. I don't know. I don't know if there was supposed to be something in here like with the game maybe. I have no idea. If you guys know anything about this, please let me know because I've looked on eBay. A couple of them sold for like $50. I mean, I don't know. It's just it's weird. They're just tiny little micro figures. So definitely interesting. All right. So last part is about MoGame Con. So me and TJ went to MoGame Con. Was it last week? Or is it 2 weeks now? I think it was last week. Convention in St. Louis, Missouri. Had a blast. They had a new location this year, so the vendor room was a lot smaller, and it was like really hard to see stuff. We were like scrunched in there when the doors open. We all were scrunched in there like sardines. It was kind of crazy. But had a great time. We ended up there was another room to the right where like some of the YouTubers were at and other like famous people, I guess you can say. But TJ has become friends with Adam Korlick. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Adam Korlick. I guess he's been around YouTube quite a while. He's got a huge collection, but he has what's called the Sega Pluto, which is like Sega's neck was supposed to be can't talk. Supposed to be Sega's next system, but it flopped, and there's only two in existence, and he has one. So he just brings it to cons for people to play and check out, and tell a story about it. But actually, Adam lives in Chicago, so it's kind of close to me and TJ. And they do a thing where they go out and get pizza to like local pizza shops and try pizza and stuff. So I've been kind of dragged into that group since MoGame Con because we ended up going to a St. Louis pizza joint called Emo's, and very different thin crust, and it's got a combination of cheeses instead of the classic mozzarella. I enjoyed it. Most of everybody enjoyed it. TJ really didn't care for it, but yeah, we after the con was over, it was just a 1 day con, so we all met up there. It was Adam, me, TJ, and I think there was 5 other guys that are part of this group. So we all had pizza and then headed back to the we headed back to an Airbnb, which where a lot of the people I know friends that I've met over in other conventions are staying. I'm sorry, guys, I can't talk right now for some reason. Um, but hung out the Airbnb, played some games with Do You Nerd, Captain Algebra, 8-Bit Glitch, 79, Chris Pico. I know I'm forgetting. Oh, who else was there? Who else was there? I think those were the main guys. Gaming Off the Grid was supposed to be there, but they had a family thing. I saw what Wes at the con. Robert wasn't there. He had something going on, so they were supposed to be there, but they were not. Um, so we did the classic peanut butter and jelly shots, which is awesome. And it was so cool. We got to play games and hang out, talk all night. Um, I know if I'm missing somebody, I apologize. I'm just having like brain freeze right now. So that was fun. Spent. I think we were there till about midnight, 1 o'clock. Went back to the hotel. Next day we got up early because we were just gonna just get up, just eat breakfast, and then hit the road because it's like a 5 hour drive. Um, so we get up, we get ready, we go down to the lobby, and going to check out. And Adam Korlick is in the lobby, and he's chatting with John Riggs, which is another YouTuber, and John Hancock. And John Riggs and his wife. His wife was with us. So we were just gonna grab something at the hotel, and they invited us out to breakfast. So it just blows my mind that me and TJ, we somehow get in these situations. We're not big YouTubers, but we end up being with like bigger named YouTubers. This happened about, it's probably 15 years ago now. We went to Portland Retro Gaming Expo with our buddy Greg. Um, he has a channel called Arcade Impossible. He hasn't done a lot with it lately because he's married, has kids now, where he has an arcade in his basement. And me and TJ were like the camera guys for this channel. So we would travel with Greg all over the place to get arcades and everything. Well, one year we went to Portland Retro Gaming Expo with him, and we went out to dinner with like all the big names, like it was Retro Liberty at the time, but it's Pixel Game Squad, as you guys know. We were with them. I mean, just Metal Jesus. I mean, just all the like big names YouTubers that were popular at the time. And me and TJ were just looking at each other like we do not belong at this table because we're you at the time. I don't know, I probably had like 50 subscribers and he probably had like 100. I mean, it was just like surreal to be sitting at a table with all those guys and chat with them and hang out with them. So yeah, anyway, going back to going out to breakfast with John Riggs and John Hancock, we ended up in the situation again where we kind of felt like we shouldn't have been there, but we got invited by Adam, so and everybody else was cool with it, so we ended up having breakfast with all those guys, which is just still blows my mind. So yeah. Um so I only picked up one game at MoGame Con. I was looking for GameCube, but like I said, the vendor hall was just crazy. But I saw a booth had this, and I didn't even haggle because I don't see this game. I've been looking for this game for quite a while, and that is Saw 2 Flesh and Blood. And I did find this game uh, recently, but it did not have the manual. It was just the game disc. So I have the first game, and I wanted the second game for PlayStation 3. So that was my only pickup from MoGame Con. Um, and then one other thing I forgot to mention, there was another YouTuber, which is what got me started on YouTube, which is crazy. His name is Bookie2988. I don't know if you guys know about him. He's been around YouTube for 20 plus years. Bigger guy. He just does a lot of like different content. He was doing a giveaway, and for guitar, was it no Rock Band, where it was Rock Band, and it was like you win the guitar bundle where it came with a guitar. I think he had 500,000 subscribers, and I was the lucky winner that got picked. So I did a video about when I got it. I did a video, an unboxing. It's my very first YouTube video. I don't recommend going back and watching that because it's horrible. Cameras are angles are off, and yeah, you can just tell. Everybody's first YouTube video is always, you know. But that is actually what kind of started me to do pickups and everything. Well, with help with the push of my other friends too and everything. But yeah, it's just surreal to like finally meet him and tell him about it. And he's a really nice guy. I've been subscribed to his channel over 20 years and everything. I probably would have had dinner with him, but since we broke off and did our own the pizza thing, but just crazy. But yeah, so that was MoGame Con. Had a really great time. Can't wait for next year. Cannot wait for Midwest Gaming Classic again. That's like the con I always go to. I kind of want to make it to Siege if I can next year as well, but we will see what happens. But that is it, guys. That is all. Sorry, a little long video, 30 minutes. But anyway, I appreciate you guys watching, and until next time,